handy because we'll probably use it a little bit for the warm up. Otherwise, we're just going to roll those shoulders up, back and down a couple times. Add those elbows into it, big arms, open your chest, roll through your abs, squeeze the shoulder blades together, round them apart. Couple more just like that. Hands to your sides, step touch. In a moment, we're going to take 2 steps to the right in 4, 3, here you go. You can go faster than me, by the way. Stay here, step touch only. Good, then we're going to bring those arms. Actually, we're going to grab the band while we're here, sorry. Bring that around behind you. Oh, I could have done that better. Bring it around behind you and then grab it. So kind of waistline level. And as you step touch, just extend one arm, or if your band is short, like as mine is, so I'm not really getting much here, you can bring it in front and do the same thing like this. Pressing up. So totally up to you guys. Good, keep that going. Add the step touch to a step front. Pick up the pace with the arms. 2 more like that. Keep the step touch. And then turn it into a lat pull. So you can either do every other time, or you can do every touch. Last 2. Last one, arms in front, knee lift. Pull back. I'm going to suggest maybe you do this one on every other leg, so notice that it's the same leg. For me, it's my left knee. Last 2 like this. And then hold it and try and go to the other leg, right? Just so we're a little more symmetrical. Oops, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. Was I doing it every leg? I don't know. Just discombobulated. I don't know how to teach anymore. Last one, you should have felt that in your shoulders and your upper back. Bring those palms to face up this time. And we're going to come up and over. In a moment, we'll stay on the right and we'll double time it. In 4, 3, 2, double time here. Just 2 more. And step touch. We'll lose that band again for a moment. Add those arms. We're going to go 2 to the left in 4, 3, 2, here you go. Stay here, step touch only. Go ahead and grab your band again. Out in front of you. Good. Oh, sorry. We start down to up. Press up and out when you go up to get a little bit of tricep, right? If you want. Good. Then leave it up this time, and let's turn it into a lat pull. And we'll take that step touch from side to side to in front. Nice. Then we're going to add that knee lift. We're going to bring those arms in front. Pull back. Nice posture muscles. You can either do both knees at the same time. Oh, I can do that. or you can do one and then switch it right now. Make sure you're feeling those shoulders. Good, last two. Last one, now we're gonna go up and across. And we'll stay on that left side and double time in 4, 3, 2, here we go. Nice, last two. Beautiful, step touch, lose that band. Ooh, roll those shoulders, they might be a little achy breaky by now. Wide stance, abs in, hands on your thighs. Round through a cat. Yep, you breathe. Inhale through a cow. Rolling through that cat cow. Keep that going for me, please. Two more, cat and cow and cat and cow. We're going to drop that right shoulder in, look over the left. Back through center, other way. Back through center, cat and cow. Big deep breath in and relax. All right, let's grab that giant loop. Step into it with your left leg. Make sure it's over the arch of your foot so you're going to have nice and secure. Hold it with your right hand. Shift your weight onto your right leg and bend that knee a little bit and just hold this hand, wherever it works for you. Right now for me, it's at my hip. And turn that left leg in. So we're pigeon-toed, so we're engaging that outer hip here, and we lift. So that right knee stays bent. This leg extends. If you can add a bicep curl with that right arm, if you have that space to do that, feel free to bicep curl as you lift the left leg. We should feel this out here. Almost there. Last two. Last one, hold it up. Right, a little balance, right knee is bent, holding here. So you can pull that band a little bit and relax. All you're going to do is take that band into your left hand now. Have your chair handy in case you want to use it for some balance. Or we may even use it for that hand. Let's see what we're going to do here. All right, so holding on to that band with your hand, we're just doing a press back here. If you want to feel it a little bit more, you might see if you could hinge, bend that right knee, flatten the back, press the knee in, and then extend it out. Press it in and extend it out. So if this is too much, you can dangle that arm here instead. Just make sure when you extend your leg that the arm doesn't, whoops, go back with it, right? You can hold that chair, then that'll give you that, extra stability. Feel this in your booty. Good, couple more here. And relax. Take that band off for now. Right. Left leg goes over the right, arms up and over, and we push the hip away. If your chair is still there, you can use it to deepen your stretch, get that hip a little further out. Pull those abs in, bend those knees a little bit around and come up. You get to do all of that on the other side. You want to go ahead and move your chair if you ended up using it, maybe have it over on the other side already. Step through with your right leg, band in your left hand. So you're going to have that bicep curl option, but you could also have a shoulder option. Bend that left knee, turn that right leg in, straighten, and then we lift. And again, you can just hold the lift. You can add a bicep curl for a little extra challenge. You can add that shoulder work. You can alternate. Or you can just hold your hand there. Beautiful. All right, hold it up. And then we'll switch that band into that same hand. So right hand, right foot. And then this is where we find that, where we want to be with that chair. Kick back. Again, you might be able to go a flatter back, get a little more work going on. You may have to bring your hand down, depends on the length of your leg and your band. And you again, lose that band. Right leg crosses over left, up and over we go. If your chair is still there, use it to support that stretch. Bend that knee a little bit, round and extend, and we'll bring that up. All right. So we're going to try to see if we can make 2 loops out of this single loop, right? So kind of fold it in half and twist it. So now you have a really tight little loop, right? This lovely little loop, we're going to start sliding it over both feet. And we're going to start with it down at our ankles for now, a little above your ankles. Step onto your right leg. Do the same exercise that we just did, just for a moment. Turn those left toes in and see if you're able to lift that leg a little bit. So it may be that the circle's too small. You may have to experiment with this a little bit, but you should really feel it in that same hip. Just a little warm up here, or a little continuation here, burn it out. Last 2, last one. Now step onto that leg. Make sure you still have space, right? So legs are pretty far apart. And shift and lift the other leg. Only as much as, you know, it'll go. It might be tiny. Good. Shift. And just onto your toes. Shift and down. So we're keeping the width of the feet. And we're just going into a little baby squat in the middle and then pressing and moving. Good. Last 2 like this. All right. Last time, come down. Take that left leg and scoot it out only as much as you can. Come through center. Scoot the right foot in tiny bit. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. I want it to look incredibly painful, right? So you're not going to do this, right? Because there's no tension when you step together. So it's got to be tiny, tiny, tiny. And you should feel that on the outsides of your hips, by the way. So once you've gone off your mat to one side, come back to the other. And again, making sure that as you do this, it's tiny little steps. Booty is kicked back, knees are bent. And again, when you get to the end of your mat, you go the other way, tiny steps, always leading with the leg that's headed where in the direction you're headed. Keep going. You should feel this. Anybody? Yes? Hopefully. Thank you. Good. Just a couple more here. All right. If you're even, which means you're back where you started, not at the other side. If you're at the other side, come on back. And then once you're even, come on back. Woo! Okay. Should have gotten those outer hips again. And now we'll go back to just that single loop. And we get to sit down for a moment because, you know, we worked really hard to sin. All right, so we're going to put that loop over the right foot this time. We're going to lift that leg. Oops, sorry. Lift that leg up. Make sure that it's not going to fall off and hit you in the face, by the way, please. If you feel like it is, then you're actually going to loop it around like that, right? Can you see? Okay. Sit tall. Bring that right leg up even with your left thigh for now. Bend it an inch and pull back. Bend and pull back. Okay. I'm going to undo my little tangle here because I feel safe. Famous last words. So as you're doing that, if you want to make it a little more challenging, sorry, you're going to bring that right arm down by your side and do a tricep extension as you kick that leg up. So you're working right quad, right tricep. And keep that leg nice and high. I'm hoping that I can see your toes. There we go. And again, you should really feel that in that right quad and that right tricep. Yes, no? Hopefully so. Good. A few more here. And relax. Woo. Let's give that quad a little bit of a stretch. So go ahead and scoot over. Let that right hip drop off your chair. Drop that knee underneath you and toe behind you. Lift up, a little bit over, back to center, and come on back. We'll do the other side. So again, double loop across your foot, across the front and the back, the top and the bottom. If you feel unsafe, if you feel safe enough, you can have that strap across your arch. And then it's a little bend and a straighten, a little bend and a straighten. And then whenever you're ready, you can, if you want, add that tricep, right? So we bend and we straighten both at the same time. So try and keep that leg at the same height as the other knee, unless you have a large incision across it. Good. Keep going, you guys. I probably need to not do that one too much more. A few more. Make sure I can see those toes, little bend, big stretch, add that tricep, and relax. And we'll scoot over, let that left hip drop off. Again, tuck that knee down, lift up, behind you, up and over. Beautiful. All right. We're going to grab that big loop. So this might actually end up being too big, but we're going to try it. Bring it across your thighs and then widen your thighs enough so that it won't fall off when you stand up, if that's possible. If it's not, you're just going to have to hold on to some of it, right? So then as you stand up, again, if mine was going to fall, so I'm going to have to grab a little bit of it. We're just going to press out, press out, press out. If you want, you can tighten it even more, right? Bring it a little closer, press out, press out. Do me a favor, don't drop in like that, right? Only press out, press out. Nice, press out. Keep going, pushing out on those hips. Just giving yourself enough tension so you still feel it. Not so much that you feel it in your knees, right? Pressing out, pressing out. Couple more here. And relax. Beautiful. All right. Let's step out of that loop. And we're going to go back sort of towards the beginning of class. We're going to bring our hands on each side of the band, palmed, and notice I haven't wrapped it around because then, you know, we get kind of achy breaky thumbs from this. We're going to go into a wide plie stance, abs in. We're going to sit down in that plie. You can go as far as you want. We're going to bring our elbows back and down, pause at the bottom for a lat pull, and then come up. Pull back and down. Good. So that band is coming to your chest. If you want to add on, you come up and come down along with the band. So some lat work, a little bit of quad and booty work. Last two. We're going to stay down this time, sit into it, test your balance by lifting those heels if you want, and give me a little pulse. Squeeze back, squeeze back. Just feel those shoulder blades come together. Feel those shoulders slide, glide down your back. Few more here, and relax. All right, leave the bands where you have them, but then the elbows. Turn the palms away from each other so knuckles are toward each other, and just a little, you know, not as wide of a plie this time, just enough to give yourself a little bend if you want, and press out, and press out. So I'm going to drop down so you can see what my arms are doing. It's a bend to a straighten, tricep work, straighten and straighten, straighten and straighten. So it's all about keeping stability here and just moving through that elbow joint, straightening it. Lower body can do whatever you want. You can sit into a little plie, get those quads active. Or you can, whatever. Last two and last one. Hoping you guys felt those. Shake that left arm out, shake that right one. Left arm comes to the left side, flip back and down. Move it to center and move it to the right. Pull it over a little bit and shake it out. Other arm to the same side and then to center and then opposite side and shake all that out. All right, we're not done. We're going to bring that band with us as we go down to the ground. And we'll start with a little booty work by using the band to help us get a stronger bridge. So you're going to lie down and find your bridge position. And you're going to drape that band across your hips. Maybe have the knot out of your way of your hands. Your hands are going to, once again, be in the loop so that you can get all 10 fingers on the ground, right? So that's your challenge. Get every fingertip on the ground and get your thumb on the ground. And then, can you get your wrist on the ground? Can you get your forearm, your elbow, your tricep, and then your shoulders? And you want to keep all of that on the ground as you lift your hips up in your first bridge. And then from there, you're going to push up 1 inch against the band. Push up an inch, push up an inch. So for me, my fingers want to come up, so I have to push them down. My wrist wants to lift. My shoulder wants to lift. There's a little chaos going on here. You guys keep going. I'm gonna do a bit of tangled, which makes it definitely harder. Couple more, and then relax. So this time, we're gonna keep those hips up, and it's our hands that are gonna be moving, therefore some tricep work. So we lift up, we hold, but we press down with the hands, press down with the hands, press down with the hands, press down, press down, press down, press down, 2 more, press and press. And then of course, we're going to put those 2 things together, right? So we lift in our bridge, we press our arms down and we push our hips up. Arms down, hips up, down and 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 up. You have 4 more, down and up, down and up. Good. Last 2, last 1. Can you hold, pushing the hips up and pushing the arms down at the same time, holding for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Relax. So it should have been some good booty work there. Good. All right. So now come on down. We're going to bring our left leg into the loop, but we're going to start with it across the top of the foot and then crisscross behind so that we're definitely secure here. And then the band is in your left hand. Hopefully that shoulder and that arm can get on the ground, and we circle, leg circles, keeping those abs nice and quiet, pointing that toe. And then let's reverse those leg circles. Try and keep your hips nice and quiet. Remember, that's the name of the game with leg circles. It's lovely for the leg, but really what you're trying to do is make sure there's no movement in the rest of the torso. Beautiful. Go ahead, bend that knee, bring that foot in. And then once again, we're going to drape the band across the top of the opposite leg and around back. So a little crisscross at the back. And then that band goes into your right hand. Right leg straight, right leg or right arm on the ground, shoulder on the ground, abs in, hips quiet, leg circles. So you can go the same direction for now. Good, and reverse. Keep it going. Just a few more. Right. And then we're going to see if we can kind of scoot that left leg in next to the right one. You may have to undo and start all again, but doing your best. So that you can just bring it through your arches. So I don't know if you guys can see that. All right, and now we're going to do our double leg lower. So I'm going to use my biceps here, elbows on the ground, point those toes to lower the legs, keeping those abs solid, keeping that low back the same distance from the ground, and slowly come up. So the nice thing about double leg lower with the bands is that you're doing it with a lot of control. So you can really focus on what the abs should be doing, keeping those abs flat, keeping that low back the same distance from the ground. Males here. All right, on this last one, go to your challenge point, hold the legs, little bicep pulse, squeezing, 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 legs are pointing, abs are in, biceps working, and relax. Let's untangle all that. Oops. We're going to take a quick break, arms out in a T position, legs wider than your mat, drop the left knee in, right leg open. Feel a nice stretch across the front of that left hip flexor and quad. And then back through center, we'll drop the right knee in. Beautiful, bring that on up. Okay, so we're going to take the band. And again, just trying to have the knot out of your way as much as possible. We're going to bring the left thigh into tabletop, and the band is in each hand. Then your right leg is going to be extended straight up in the air. We're going to lift up. We're going to press our hands forward and pull the knee back. We're going to press and pull, press and pull, press and pull. If that doesn't feel like enough tension to you, you're welcome to wrap your band around your hands an extra time and do it that way, right? Totally up to you guys. So you're pushing forward with the hands, pulling in with the left knee, just 2 more times. Relax. Let's go ahead and do the other side. I'm not going to do this with the band. Left leg is pointed, right hand, you have the band. Again, I'm not going to do it, but I'll demo the beginning, right? We push and press, push and press, push and press, push and press. Good job. Keep going. Push and press, push and press. Pressing the thigh, the band across that right thigh, reaching through those left toes. Few more here. And relax. Let's go ahead, lie all the way down. We're going to bring that band behind the hamstrings. Palms facing up. So we're going to be using our biceps a little bit. Deep breath in. On the exhale, start to roll your spine off the ground. Use your biceps to help yourself come all the way up. You may have to adjust where the band is, might need to be higher, closer to the knee. You just play with this and then rolling it back down, right? So you're rolling up and rolling down, using the biceps to help you. Some of you can do full roll-ups, and if you want to, if you can do it, again, safely by lassoing those feet correctly, your hands will have to be in a different spot. You could certainly, go to straight legs and do it that way. Right? But again, if you choose to do that, make sure you lasso both feet, front or top, and then around the back, and then to your arches, so that you're perfectly safe, because otherwise that band is going to smack you in the face. And I'm not there to see it, to fix it before it happens. So choose wisely, or Wile, Coyote. We were talking about him earlier. All right, just a couple more here. The next time you come up, go ahead and stay up. You can take your band off and then sit nice and tall. You're going to pull those glutes out from under you. And then once again, we're going to bring that band. This time we can go around behind both legs for a second, because this is going to be pretty safe, hopefully, right? Sit up tall, bend your elbows, and just hinge forward. Spine stretch with the assistance of that band. Again, make sure you're sitting tall, not slouching. Beautiful. Up. All right, so this time we're going to double up that band again. So it's going to be pretty tight, but we're doing clams with this. So I think you guys will be okay. So after you double up that band, you're going to bring it all the way up above your knees, about mid-thigh. And again, always know you can adjust that if it ends up in an uncomfortable spot. Then we're going to lie down. Knees are stacked, hips are stacked, arm is resting under your ear, waistline lifted. And we'll just do a very traditional clam by lifting that top leg. We're going to leave that gap just like we did at the beginning of class. We don't want to go slack like that. And we're going to press open a little more and open and open and open and press and press. Good. Keep going. Nice. And now we're going to continue that same motion, but we're going to lift our heels in the air as we do it. So again, it's a pulse open, pulse open. Two more. Ooh, rest that hip. I'm imagining that y'all felt those, and we'll switch over to the other side. So once again, everything is stacked up, knees and hips, arm resting underneath your ear, heels together, pivot open, and then from that open, you press a little more, and press, and press. Beautiful. Now we are going to lift the heels off the ground, open, and then press open. And relax. Ooh, give that a little bit of love. We're going to roll over onto our spine. We're going to keep that band where it is. Stack those legs tabletop. Pivot those knees open, abs in. We're going to do toe touches with a little bit of pressure on the band. Now, if you feel it in your knees with those knees rotated open, you're welcome to open your feet and put them parallel with your knees. Remember, always toe touches are about keeping the abs in, the ribs flat, the low back the same distance from the ground. Just a few more here. And relax. Not last thing. Let's go ahead and pull that band off of your feet. And we're going to come all the way over onto our abs now. Unfold that band and just drape it across as you go. So it'll be across your sacrum. And slide your hands down, turn your palms up as you slide through the folds in that big loop. Palms again facing the ceiling, shoulders back and down, forehead to center, toes point, knees lift, deep breath in. Exhale, pull your belly button in, lift your forehead a couple inches, lift your arms, and press out. You might even rotate your pinkies to the sky just a little bit, and then exhale down. Deep breath in. Exhale as you lift. Inhale, hold at the top, pressing out, and gently down on the exhale. Just play with your hand position if you need to. You can always keep the palms towards the sky. A couple more here. And then relax, bend those knees. You're going to windshield wiper side to side. And then as you come up, you're gonna bring that band up across your upper chest, or excuse me, upper back, sorry. Actually, you know what? I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Your bands might be a little tight for this. All right, I'm not gonna do this with the band. You can untie your band if you want. It's across your upper back, and you come into that pre-plank position, pull that collarbone back. And then pre-plank, pressing against that band, hopefully if it's still there, you lift up. Then you can roll onto the fronts of your thighs if you want. You can go into a regular plank if you want. That's not in my wheelhouse quite yet. But that band is between your shoulder blades, giving you a little extra resistance. Or if your band is pretty tight, giving you a lot of extra resistance. And just push against it. Gentle push, gentle push. I like this. What about you, Nutmeg? Now I understand how you do this. Just hang out, watch them. Encourage them. Yay! All right, take a break. This time, go ahead and press back. Let your hips sit back on your heels. Shell stretch. Right? Get a nice little break there. And then when you are ready, we're going to roll over, but you might as well go ahead and lasso your right foot before you go. You can either lasso across the front, or if you know you like that stretch by having the foot in the length of the band, you can do that. That's where we're headed. And then nice tight squeeze on that band. Pull the toes forward and press the heel to the sky, and then push the ball of the foot up and press the toes up and reach. Toes come back, ball of the foot comes back, heel goes up. So we're just mobilizing through those little foot muscles, bones. You might even turn the toes in a little bit and turn them out a little bit and just get the different feeling there. Good, and then we'll drop that right elbow onto the ground so the leg can hang in space. Should be a nice stretch for the inner thigh, nice passive stretch. You may feel it in your hamstring. If you want to feel it more in your hamstring, you bring that leg up higher towards your face. Then reach over with that left hand, bring everything back to center, straighten out your left leg, flex through the heel, in that right knee, and again, tighten up on the band. With that tight band, go ahead and straighten out your leg, and that should be, once again, a big stretch for the hamstring. Then the bands go into your left hand, and we'll let that left elbow drop on the ground, and the right leg get that beautiful passive stretch by hanging in space. You can play with turning the toe down. Then you're going to bend that right knee. Go ahead and take that band off. Put the right thigh across the left leg, and we'll pause here. Drag that left heel in, reach around, thread your needle, extend that left leg up. We're going to flex and point, rotate through that left ankle. And then finally, we'll bend that left knee, right leg crosses over, arms out in a T, and we let the legs drop to the left. As you come back through center, you're going to do the same thing on the left side. So whatever you did, if you lassoed that foot or if you put it the length of the band, and again, we'll tighten our grip, especially towards the front of the toes or the front of the foot, so that then when we press up with those toes, we really get that big stretch. Couple more. Maybe try pigeon-toed and duck-footed. And then left elbow rests on the ground, leg hangs in space. Hamstring and inner thigh. Then we use both hands to bring it back to center, bend the knee, straighten out the right leg, flex through the right heel. Pull that left knee in, and then press up, deep hamstring stretch. Bend into your right hand, turn that toe in a little as you go over to the right, let it hang in space. You can do a neutral or toe down. Gently take the band off, left leg crosses the right thigh, and we pause for a moment. And then again, we're going to come up in that thread the needle, and that right ankle will get some mobility, more mobility. Bend it, cross that left over the right, and knees drop to the right. And then we'll come on back through center. However you want to get to a hands and knees position, meet me there, please. We'll bring our hands out in front. We're going to cow and cat forward and back. And then we'll walk it back. We're going to tuck those toes under, press it up. Always feel free to pedal out those heels if you have a nice stretch there. Good. Bend the knees, hands on the thighs, cat and cow. Bring it on up. Curtsies. Thank you, guys.